Hello and welcome to my kitchen. It's not my kitchen, it's our kitchen, and that's why it's very clean. Anyway, today we're gonna make our first meal. It's the first meal because it's so freaking simple that even if you haven't cooked at all ever, you can do this. I mean, this is now definitely below my niveau of cooking. But just to demonstrate, and because I'm feeling very lazy today, I'm gonna cook here with you that thing today. I suggest that for cooking, to get better, you just have to do it. And if you do the same thing over and over again, you develop the skill of you just automate how you do the stuff. So you will get better at it. But let's have a simple starting dish that you can easily do even if you haven't cooked. Let's do it. Okay, so the things you need to make this simple dish is pasta, some pasta sauce, some minced meat, and some frozen vegetables. This and this is actually optional. If you go really basic, you can work with just those two. But you know, I have some standards. For the actual preparation, what you will need is a pan, and then you just fill up this thing with water, put it on the hob and turn it on. Optionally, you can put a thing on that it goes quicker. Now, you can see that the water is boiling if it makes those bubbles. And if the water is boiling, you can go on and put your pasta into the water. I recommend those penne pasta because they're just really nice to handle, a lot easier than spaghetti. There you go. Now, this is so obvious, but I'm gonna say it anyway. If you cook pasta, you want the pasta to be covered in water. So if they're standing out, you did not use enough water and you might want to add some more, just so they're all properly covered. Alright? Easy so far. Now that we put in the pasta, we can start heating up the pan. Okay, I had this one on full heat all the time, so now it's boiling a bit too much and it will go over, and to avoid that, we put in the cold frozen vegetables. We want those vegetables just so we pretend to live healthy, you know. You can just skip them, it's not important. But then you need to know that it takes less time to do the pasta, because this now cools down the whole thing. Alright, this we put back into the freezer, then we cover it all with water and proceed to the now heated pan, where we just put in the, you don't even need oil, you can just put in the meat, and I mean depending on how much fat it has, but it's usually okay if the pan has like this nice the cover that doesn't make it burn, you know. Otherwise you might want to use some oil. I usually don't for this kind of minced beef. And then you want to also, you know, get it, you know, you want to just, you know, have it in the whole pan, squish it a bit, don't make it fall out of the pan like I just did. Easy, super easy. And back again. There are people who constantly keep it moving around, but I prefer to have it on one side, then I split it in nice pieces and turn those pieces on the other side. So this just, it makes it easier for me to work with it. There we go. And it's very hard to make a mistake with that dish, because unless you completely burn it, you can't really go wrong. I mean, even if you completely undercooked it, like having it completely red still, if it's beef, if it's minced beef, you can still just eat it and it won't die. It's not as good, but it will work. So, I mean, you can really fuck up a lot with this. Which is why this is the first dish we do here at Cooking with Andy. It tastes actually very gross. Don't do that. Don't try that at home. Now for the pasta, why I like those penne is you can easily get them out with a fork. Then you can easily cool them down by blowing through them. And then you can easily check if they're done by just biting through them. And if they're still hard, they're not done yet. And if you see the ring in there, then they're also not done. If you feel like they're too hard, leave them in until you reach the proper hardness you want. People want different things, so just try it a few times. This is why we repeat cooking the same stuff, so that we know how we want it. And now we put it in smaller chunks that are easy to eat. Turn the heat down. If you see parts that are not done yet, try and get them covered in the pan. And the ones that are properly done, you keep them out. Or otherwise you just keep everything in and be like, yeah, whatever, it will be fine. That's also a valid strategy. If you say this is enough, you cooked it enough, then you can continue with the sauce. The sauce is actually where most of the flavor comes from, so you should select one that you like. Supermarkets have loads of them, at least where I live. So yeah, I haven't found a proper one in England. In Austria I know which ones I really like. This one is okay, so I usually go for this one. And you just open it and put it in there. Super easy. I mean, if you're advanced you can totally make the sauce yourself, but we're still beginners here, so we use a ready sauce. And then we just mix it with the meat, mix it around. Alright, turn the heat down. Then we check the pasta again. Pasta is now perfectly al dente, so we remove it from the heat. Take off the pasta. Now if you don't have such a thing to get the water away from the pasta, there are other ways. You can just use the lid of the thing and then, but you know, this is very easy. Getting one of those is recommended, so you can just drop it all in. Right. Now you can either mix that with the sauce right away in the pan, or, as I prefer to do it because it looks nicer, you put the pasta and vegetable stuff on the plate. The plate, not around the plate, like I just did. You know, like this. And then you can just, you know, put that on top. Looks nicer. Yes, nom nom nom. Nom 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 food. And voila! Here you go!
And here comes the thumbnail!
That was Cooking with Andy, your first dish. I hope that you learned something or enjoyed me making awful food. I mean, it's not awful, like, it's not awful, it's just, it's so... I've eaten this a lot because it was my go-to standard meal when I, you know, didn't want to think a lot or didn't want to spend a lot of time cooking. So I had this a lot. But you know, for a starter thing, it's definitely better than all those pre-made pasta that you just put in the microwave. I'm not a big fan of pasta anymore, but this is something that I can still make if I'm alone, because my girlfriend doesn't like it. Anyway, if you excuse me, I have to eat now. I do. Go make a backup. And I'll see you next time I cook for you.